Hello, patrons. I've got my glasses going. I haven't got a beard on either. That's me though, I swear. Just sharing this out on the Facebook and that. How is everyone? Thank you for your continued patronage of me.
And I am also here, you can see me.
Yeah, I think they can see you.
Have you all had a nice week?
Wow, there's 14 people in there already.
Oh.
Thumb up this. Oh, I don't know if that's even the thing. Do you want to thumb up our streams?
Yes. It's been a week since we've streamed.
Yeah.
Gone really fast.
Right, Steve said where's Hench?
Oh yeah, you do look really different with no beard and glasses.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm just making it good.
He's in disguise. Tilt it down a bit, can you?
How's this? Look at my boobies. Come left a bit.
Okay then.
Boom. Hello, we're all set up. Please thumb up the stream if you will.
Do you want me to do a bit of reading
Thumb
for
up
a
the
minute
stream.
and then...
Yeah, go on. Why not?
Okay then.
Happy New Year, everyone. If we haven't seen you yet this year.
I think we might have seen him one. Everyone once.
Oh yeah, last year. Well, last week. Well, maybe someone wasn't on it. Like, do not laugh on me. You will not put a curse on me.
Peter Thompson is waving. Layla says hi. Money Chad is here.
Yay.
Manus, Kathy.
Oh, all the best ones. Jesma.
Erica.
Hello from Chattanooga. Oh wow, hi. How's the vegan scene in Chattanooga? We know a song about that, don't we? Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Don't know.
I think that's a thing. Is that a thing?
I don't know what you're saying.
I think that came into my mind today for some reason. That's weird. Synchronicities.
Why did you shave your beard?
So I was just trimming it a little bit, but the clippers broke down. Oh, they seem to be working again now.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, they're not. No, they're not working. Yeah, my beard trimmer broke down halfway through, so I just look like an idiot. Well, more of an idiot than I do now. How do you guys feel? I feel like the beard is part of my branding, so it sort of feels... It wasn't until I started doing the YouTubes that I actually grew a beard. And then I didn't really want to keep it, but it sort of became part of the whole thing.
No, you seem to like it.
Yeah. I've got glasses on as well. I don't normally wear... I normally have contacts, but then I can't see you. I've not got them in. Ovs.
You used to have a goatee, didn't you? For a lot of years.
When Jem and I met, I had a goatee.
Vaskin says it's good to see us.
And you, my friend.
Jesma misses the daily live stream.
Yeah. Yeah, it is sad.
Aww.
On the upside, I'm a lot more productive though, in general. I sort of think in terms of what's the best use of me and my, you know. I might do maybe another live stream like for Patreons or something. Something like that, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, I think you should. Kathy says she got her hats in the mail, black and purple.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely. Oh, glad you like them. Brilliant. Thank you for the custom.
Purple Piplup is here.
Oh, purple Piplup?
Yes.
You don't mind it if it's just once a week?
Don't I know?
I really made a meal of it and you didn't really sort of kick off.
Connor says Hench is nude.
Yeah. He means my face.
Peter says, bit stressed. Found out my brother has gone keto with his 2 and 5-year-old son.
Oh, wow. That is just madness.
In terms of eating?
Yeah, so like a high-fat diet. That really
like
is a diet of... You probably can do a vegan version of it, but typically lots of meat. Yeah, it's like Atkins all over again, basically.
Yeah.
And we know how good his health was when he died. He had 3 serious heart things going on.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's horrible. I think Mike the Vegan did a good video on keto, kind of disproving it. I guess Gregor's probably done one as well.
Yasmin says hello.
Ah, hi Yasmin, how are you? How are you and your delicious treats?
And Julie and Chickpea Sani.
Nice.
Julie says, as a vegan, do I need an oil each day?
So what you need is fats as they come from nature. So, you know, where basically you've got, say, flax seeds, and then they can process the flax seeds to take the oil out, but then that tends to cause a lot of harm, and especially like coconut oil, palm kernel oil. But yeah, any oil really is harmful. It does a myriad of different things. Paralyzes our endothelial function and our epithelial function, I found out recently, which is why we get pains in the in the intestinal area. It paralyzes peristalsis, both in the epithelium and endothelium, or blood vessels. You know, that the smooth muscle on the inside. So you don't need oil, but you do need a minimum. You know, you need some omega-3s, like a couple of tablespoons worth of flax or chia seeds, and then a little nuts and other seeds will bring up your omega-6. Omega-9's kind of in everything, so there's no need to really go out of your way to get that. Monounsaturated fat, basically, omega-9. What are you doing to me? You can't do. We're live to the world. Do feel free to thumb up the stream, people.
Have you finished your fat talk?
My what?
Your
Fat talk. Yeah. So, and I recommend maybe not more than about 15% of your total calories from fats. It seems like that keto diet, like you can live on that. You won't thrive on it, but you can survive. But when we tend to so as high fat, low carb, the best diet for humans is high carb, low fat. And then if we're sort of moderate of each, that tends to lead to ill health very, very quickly. And that presents quickly. Whereas obviously the high fat diet, that just causes atherosclerosis over like many, many years. And leads to disability and death.
You just got this book.
I just got this book. I really recommend this. Yeah, the most comprehensive book on vegan nutrition in the world. All your money back.
Yeah, I would like to have a look at that.
Yeah, you can do.
Mona says R.I.P. Hench's
Let's just have a minute for my beard. Alright, that'll do.
Monty says, I'm doing wonderfully. 1 hour and a half in the gym.
Yeah.
Trying to get all the exercises done. Excuse me.
Yay.
Sorry. Clippers 1, Hench 0. Did you ever have a mustache?
Not on its own. Not on its own.
Look, yeah, more people saying what happened to your beard. You look so different.
There was an accident. There was a workplace accident.
Jasmine says you could always do live streams on Facebook too. You could be Norwich's Gregor with multiple live streams on multiple platforms.
Yeah, I have live streamed on Facebook, and I seem to remember they do rather well on there. Actually, yeah, they do really well, and they stay on there, and they tend to get good replay value as well. Whereas when I leave them on here, I tend to hemorrhage subscribe. If you look at my subscribers, well, you can't probably see it, but in my analytics, all the time I was doing live streams, the sort of subscribers was going like that, and it went actually negative at one point. Like, I was losing more subscribers than I was gaining. And since we've like ditched the daily live streams again, boom, we're back up like 50 a day. That's annoying. I felt like I just got penalised for doing daily live streams. You'd have thought that would have really helped. There you go.
Paul Sargent says, hi Paul, it's Paul. Thanks for the meeting. Some great tips.
Yeah, hey Paul. It was lovely to see you, brother. Yeah, so Paul came in for a nutrition debrief. We met at the outreach the other day.
Can't wait.
Nice.
Chickpea Sunny says, what's Vin Diesel
doing?
And
thanks for watching.
Sorry, what's Vin Diesel doing on the live stream?
Vin Diesel. Van Diesel
not the first time you've been called Vin Diesel, is it?
Nah, I used to get that a lot, didn't I?
Yeah.
It used to annoy me because I was so vain and thought I was like twice as big as him.
Yeah. Yasmin's preparing for a local vegan fair next Sunday.
Is it the one near Surrey that I got invited to?
Vaskin says, which foods do you eat for iron, good sir?
I don't know. I just eat, the whole plant foods, and I just eat a balanced diet. So I have a legume, a whole grain, your veggies, a little nuts and seeds. It's in there. It's in there. You don't really need to. You don't need to really worry about these things. I suppose if I really put my mind to it, I suppose it's like your leafy greens, probably legumes, nuts and seeds, and then with like vitamin C. But it's all in there. You don't need to stress it. As long as you're eating calorically adequately, it'll be hard not to get enough of your different nutrients on a whole foods plant-based diet. Little chia and flax seeds, and just supplementing B12, D3. I recommend a DHA as well, just in case, and some seaweed for the iodine. Yes.
Money says, I was wondering if milled flax seeds are just as good as whole ones, since those are the ones I use in my smoothie.
So, if you get a little pack of seeds and they are already milled, and you open them, you've probably not lost a whole lot of nutrients. Basically, they keep for probably years, definitely months, but probably years is the whole seed. The minute you break anything down, it's going to start to degrade in terms of nutrition. However, freshly ground ones in a sealed pack, as long as they're not sitting in your fridge for months on end, which if you're eating them on the daily, like, they're not going to be around for long.
You need to store them in the fridge.
Milled ones you ought to, really.
Oh,
I don't know, we don't, do we?
Yeah,
but then they're not around. They're not around for like more than about like 3 or 4 days. So
it's like a week. Yeah,
not even a week, is it?
No.
I have 50 grams a day.
Jasmine says.
So in answer, I would go with whole ideally, but if you've got milled ones, probably you should store them in the fridge. Really, we don't, but we probably should. But you'll get through them so quickly, it probably isn't of relevance.
Sorry, Yasmin says, how much fat would you recommend for a female, please? I'm trying to work out roughly how much I consume.
So I think in terms of health, like no more than 15% of calories from fat. Maybe you could get away with 20%. I typically say 15% unless someone has eaten a very calorically restricted diet. Say they're on, they're dieting. Maybe they're a smaller person, and what I was saying. Where was I? So I say no more than about 15% of calories, except in the case of very low calories. And then I look at total fats for the day. And for a female, I like it to be at least 30 grams of total fat. And that's just to make sure that we have adequate to build our various hormones from.
What I always get confused about is, like, what if, say, because it's percentage, what if, like, say I was doing a lot of exercise and then I can eat 4,000 calories a day and not put any fat on.
Yeah.
I'd be then eating a lot of fat if it's by percentage.
Yeah.
As opposed to if it's, well, same for you, isn't it? As opposed to if it's a certain amount of grams
Yeah.
per day. But is that okay? Is that?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's just, is it about how much fat's in your body at the same time as the carbohydrates?
Yeah.
Right, I think it's at the. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I get it.
Yeah. And as I say, in a calorically deplete diet, there is just the danger that you're not getting enough total fats to do your sort of minimum of hormonal necessities. The stream is still juddery, isn't it? Oh, that's really annoying. So I'm getting a refund for the mic they didn't send.
Yeah, finally. They said.
But are we getting another mic?
No, we have to buy another one. They said because it was like a third-party seller, they couldn't just send a replacement,
Right.
so they had to give the money back. Then we've got to order it again.
Okay.
We waited weeks for a microphone from Amazon. It never came. Hemocardia says
Hemocardia!
he'll keep this beard for both of us.
Yeah. Guys, feel free to thumb up the stream. It really helps. You'll be my best friends.
Logan Lee says, I can't believe I found you guys by accident and you live in Norfolk, where I also live. Otherwise that would be not a weird coincidence.
Oh, whereabouts are you, my friend?
Juice Fam Vlog says, "Hi, you're the perfect person to ask a burning question I have. My sister has started bodybuilding and she is on an animal-based diet and is having thyroid problems and I'm very worried. Any insight?"
So, you got some benefit to your thyroiditis, didn't you, from going whole foods plant-based?
I have an autoimmune thyroid condition and I was on a high-fat meat-eating diet as well, actually, for a long time, by a doctor's recommendations. And
Specialist, no less.
yeah, and I felt awful, and I decided to ditch that and to go on a high carb, low fat, like a plant-based diet. And within a week, I felt better than I'd felt in years. I felt absolutely amazing. I think there might be a video on. Is there any videos on your channel?
Must be.
There's one about Candida where I kind of talk about that.
Is there one called like Your Health Journey or something?
I think that was on my channel.
Oh.
I think that's gone now.
I bet there is one on our channel about Gemma's
yeah, I'm sure.
thyroid issues.
Maybe older ones. I just got a book actually for Christmas, and he doesn't say in this book to eat a vegan diet, but he does say when you're trying to heal your thyroid to not eat dairy,
pork,
chicken, eggs. I think, and at certain times fish. The only thing he doesn't say to never eat is chicken, but then he says all the list of foods that he thinks are good for healing your thyroid, and it's all fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, he basically promotes whole plant foods as what to eat.
Yeah, although he does promote bee pollen. He says that's good for healing in some way. So he's not vegan, but this is like the closest to a vegan diet recommendation with thyroid healing book that I've actually ever read. So it's really, really good if you are interested.
So one big thing with a very big, probably the majority of disease in humans, in the West, is grounded in nutrition. And so one big thing for thyroid health is we need adequate iodine, because the T1, 2, 3, 4 thyroid hormones are, that's actually the amount of iodine molecules that's in each hormone. So T4 is the storage version, and then we take one molecule to make T3, which is the active hormone. So yeah, adequate iodine, so at least like a couple of sheets of nori, half a teaspoon of dulce or arame a day. Other seaweeds are available, but I don't know the doses for them. But 150
if she really
micrograms.
Doesn't like the taste, it's better to have an iodine solution rather than to not have it at all, is what I would say.
Yeah, so Lugol's iodine solution, it comes with iodide. This is the correct ratios for human absorption.
Be consistent with it. Don't have it one day but not have it the next, because then it helping your thyroid levels will be unstable. You really want it to be balanced, like over time, is my advice.
Yeah, what else for thyroid? So oftentimes the adrenals can be harmed in conjunction, can't they? So
cutting out like caffeine and stress. He talks about it all in this book. Honestly, it's only about £10, and he talks about your adrenals, having a sluggish liver, all these different things that can happen all at once. And he talks about all different symptoms: fatigue, insomnia, and he explains why you might have those going on, different supplements that might help that, foods to eat. It's not really like, oh, just take a load of supplements. He's very into diet and eating healthfully and stuff.
What's another thing? Selenium, isn't it?
Yeah, eat like 1 or 2 Brazil nuts every day to get enough selenium. That's really
important. You don't want loads of Brazil nuts, because about 4, I think, pushes you up against the upper tolerable limit. So depending on what else you're eating, you could OD on selenium. Yeah, that's all we've got to say about that at the minute. Yeah.
But I tried to heal for many years, and it wasn't until I went vegan and cut out stress from my life that I really started to notice any improvements. So good luck to her with that. I've
heard like a link, I think this is more for Hashimoto's, but between the gut microbiome being low in the Prevotella fibre eating bacteria, which we get those in there by feeding fibre and resistant starch in insoluble fibre, and if there's not enough short chain fatty acids from the fibre to feed the colonic mucosal cells, we can get leaky gut, the little holes, and so gluten can be a trigger for that, can it?
Yeah, a lot of people say if you, well, I don't know if it's just if it's an autoimmune thyroid condition or a thyroid condition in general, I can't remember, but yeah, it wouldn't hurt to try for her to try cutting out gluten for a time to see if she feels better. He does talk about that again in that book.
Oh, Kathy's showing us out on Twitter, bless you. Oh, Romsey, no, that wasn't the one. Vaskin, I can't eat too much, only 175 centimetres and I'm competing in 76 kilo Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu rep. Thank you guys. Good job, sir. Alicia's in the house. How are you, my lovely? Tea dog bounce. Is 4 wheat a big soy milk, 25 grams of flaxseed, 4 bananas and 3 kiwis a healthy diet? Not if that's all you're eating. No, I'd say you're a bit low on vegetables. Yeah. Sounds like a good breakfast. Sounds like a good breakfast, yeah. Yeah, well, but, quite a big breakfast, but yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess it depends. Excuse me. Paul's in the house. Have you any more vegan recipes? Your chickpea tagine slash. Thank you, brother. I'll tell you what, in my vegan, so there's a recipes playlist on my front page of my YouTube channel. What are the best recipes? I like the Moroccan, there's another Moroccan dish, Moroccan lentil soup. Gumbo, chickpea okra gumbo, that is really nice. With sweet potato, that's nice. And my other favourite is black bean, I think we just call it bean and pineapple stew. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, it sounds wrong, but it tastes so right. What I like about all those recipes that we just said is that it's like a one pot type of an easy thing. You know, put it all in and cook it for a while, and you can make a big batch of it so it can last a long time. Tonight we had falafels. There's a recipe for baked falafels as well, and they were delicious. I can't be bothered to make every night something from scratch. It's a little bit more, takes a little bit more time, and only lasts for that one night. I'm more about most nights, so I want to make something like that lasts. So I guess it depends how much time you've got, doesn't it? Yeah, man. What's some other good recipes? Oh, I like we do a baked pakora with gram flour. They're nice. For a long time. No, we haven't, have we? Let's get some of them back in the rotation. Maybe some onion rings. Oh, yeah. You could do baked onion rings with gram flour, breaded mushrooms flour. We did, didn't we? Some people call it besan, don't they? Didn't we use brown rice breadcrumbs or something? Yeah. Oh yeah. We need to get some more of those. He's on a diet. Is this torture to you? No, I'm doing all right, really. Okay. So I think I've lost 2 stone 9 pounds. 2 stone 10. Yes, 2 stone 9. No, it's a 1 stone, isn't it? I've lost 1 stone 9 pounds in the last 8 weeks, basically, and I think I'm going to go for another month. So that should see me down another probably 8 pounds. I'm thinking of competing again. I was sort of going against the idea, but now I think I'll compete in the summer. What do you think, guys? Should I compete? There's new bodybuilding federation, PCA, and they're actually going to put on a show in Norwich in the summer. What do you reckon? Will I do all right? I'll be in the old farts category. So go for it. Do it. I wonder if you get extra points for peg dancing. The Stratford's in the house. What's up, Chickpea Sunny? We missed a question. Oh. I think I missed a question a while ago. Sorry. Saying about One Planet Pizza, would it impress a non-vegan? I think I missed that. Sorry. I just remembered when I saw a question about fake meat. Yeah, I think I totally missed that. For the answer to that, watch my video I did with the Vegan Society, where we took One Planet Pizzas on the streets of Norwich. Not one complaint. They all loved it. We didn't tell them they were vegan until afterwards. We haven't ever tried them because they're not gluten-free, so we can't. Yeah. About fake meats. Oh, it's jumped. About what fake meats do we recommend to impress a non-vegan, I think it was saying. What ones did we used to like Linda McCartney sausages. I found those to be very realistic, which is why I can't eat them anymore. I thought they were really tasty.
I know of people who've served them up to others and they didn't even know that they were vegan, so definitely I recommend those. The red onion and rosemary ones, really nice. We haven't really had any other fake meats, have we?
No.
Oh, we used to like sort of corn style mince like pieces in a bolognese when we first went vegan. We had that a bit, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, at the very
I don't know.
beginning.
I remember trying to texture vegetable protein chunks, and that just felt so much like meat. I just threw it all down the toilet.
Yeah. You were really hungry as well, weren't
I
you?
was really hungry. Like that really surprised me that I couldn't. It just made me want to throw up. It's weird, isn't it? You just rewire your brain, and now I don't see meat. I see pieces of corpse. It might as well be a load of fingers on a salad, like just hanging around there.
Maybe you
Gross.
guys in the stream can help answer that question better than we can about the fake meats thing.
Yeah. Yasmin's saying that she agrees with you. I do not really understand that concept.
About the percentage of fat as opposed to...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Alicia managed to do a pull-up. Good job. I'm stronger than ever as a vegan. All the muscle I currently have has been built whilst being vegan from a health position as well as ethical perspective. Best decision ever. It really is, isn't it? There's no good reason not to go vegan, is there? Oh, I'm glad you're doing so well, hun. That's brilliant. Okay.
Put a shirt on.
What did you say?
He said put a shirt on. Oh, innocent. Dogs and cats.
Good old Barrowman. Welcome, brother. Monica's smashing it. She's fan blogs. Thank you very much. I'll share this with her and refer to your channels. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate that. Lily, that's right. Thyroid with arthritis, freedom of mind is not allowed to consume dairy.
There is a theory that autoimmune diseases can be set up in childhood from dairy consumption. That's something that I heard. Or was it Hashimoto's?
I think that is a suspected trigger for type 1 diabetes. I think that's confirmed actually now, but it's definitely a question mark.
I thought I heard it for autoimmune or thyroid disease as well. I could be wrong, or
very possibly.
yeah, I can't remember. I'm sort of questioning myself now.
Barrowman the Fool, that's a great book. Diseases experientially worsened by mucus clogged bodies. There's one thing people don't seem to understand. The formation of mucus is completely related to health. Yeah. Yeah, so if you've got mucus, and that pretty like intracellular as well, I think. So like you can get acidosis in your cells. The waste products can't escape because of all the mucus.
In this book as well, he's saying there's like a protocol you can do. And there's like a protocol for liver and gut regenerating, and then the next protocol is heavy metal detoxing, and then the third one is about your thyroid. And for the thyroid part, he says like it's really important to lower your fat, the amount of fat that you eat, because he's saying like then you'd have more oxygen in your blood system.
That's called lipemia, and lactescence is the milky quality of blood from fat.
Yeah.
Lipemia means fatty blood. And also, a high-fat diet lowers your production of natural killer cells, which is something I learned recently.
Oh, okay.
So it's good for not getting, just different diseases, viruses, anything which has an immune response. Someone said I've got to get my legs out, so I'm just putting some shorts on.
Okay.
How can I get? Okay, whoever asked, here's my legs. Sorry, it's a bit unstable. Boom. How's that?
You cannot say that he is not accommodating of your request.
I am accommodating. That's all I'm getting out though. That's as far as I go. Unless you want to do a bit of a super chat. No, but seriously, I will do anything for money. Barrowman, so eating foods that are 94 mucus can cause the body to not perform correctly. Eggs are known mucus generating a large amount of effects on. Yep.
Yeah, he's a big promoter of no eggs. He says it feeds the virus that is called the thyroid disease.
It's a bit. A lot of people will find this like a bit too much.
I sort of don't tend to talk about that side of the book because I think
Yeah.
it put people off. But
well, I like to be straight because I'm so science based. So this guy Anthony William claims to be a medical medium. Supposedly he diagnosed his gran with liver cancer. One of the cancers.
Something like that.
I think it was liver cancer at the age of 4, which medical tests soon confirmed. And then he's just got this uncanny knack of telling people what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
And he says he can see like what's going on, and supposedly he has a better understanding of things than modern medicine in a lot of cases. So he's accusing thyroid disease of being a virus, which no one else is saying. But he says, oh, you know, in years to come they'll catch up. But he has a big string of very wealthy clients from, you know, musicians, like film stars. People rave about him, and he's really doing well for himself. So
yeah, what I like is that, like, you know, I'm not you know, obviously sure if what he's saying is 100% right, but all the things he's suggesting are natural and
they can't do any harm, can they?
Yeah, like every day have a celery juice in the morning. Like it can't do any harm, you know. So that's kind of what I think. Like it's all healthy stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
Cowboy. Do you want to say hello?
So we're talking about salt. 6 grams a day. I think salt is a bit different depending on where you are in the world. But am I thinking of sodium versus table salt? I think I might be. So it's 6 grams of table salt, but then it's only... Is that about 1.5 grams of actual sodium? Am I getting confused? Or is Dr. Greger prescribing a much lower upper limit for sodium? Answers on a postcard, I'm not sure. You think I'd know that, really? There's so much to know with nutrition. I've got a pretty good grasp of most things, but there'll always be a sort of quite a simple question, and I've forgotten the answer for a bit.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was talking about how sulfites in wine and sulfur dioxide in dried fruits produces hydrogen sulfide in the colon, leading to IBD and colon cancer. And then I said, oh, and it's also animal products. And then I couldn't remember what it is in animal products that causes... But on average, vegans have 1/15 the hydrogen sulfide production of an omnivorous eater. I think it might just be... I don't even know if I've heard the compound before. I think I've just heard meat or whatever. Yeah. If anyone knows the answer to that one, please write that down as well. Oh, what happened to the upside down hair, aka your beard? Yeah, I had a beard trimmer malfunction. Barrowman, try to add some fats. Why are we talking about greens? Have
Some
I
other
missed
people
something?
are talking about a smoothie, but I don't think they were talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, someone brought up a good point there, Barrowman. Try to add some fats to greens, because vitamin K, the carotenoids in greens, are fat soluble. So if you're not having any fats in like a fruit smoothie, maybe it's got greens and stuff in, you won't get any of the vitamin K or carotenoids if you don't have at least like a couple of walnut halves or like a tablespoon of tahini. You only need about 3 grams of fat, basically. You know, a tablespoon of flax. It would be like you haven't eaten them. Race liver, beans and pineapple soup. Sounds all kinds. Yeah, it does sound wrong, doesn't it? But what happens is, because it's got a lot of chili, that really balances with the sweetness from the pineapple. It is delicious, I kid you not. I wasn't too sure about it, but actually it's one of my favourite meals. Please, can we have it soon? Jesse Hitman, you could do omelette with gram flour. Very true. Someone was talking about doing a Spanish omelette with gram flour today, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Just what was your favourite recipe from Gregor's book so far? I accidentally put his balsamic date glaze on my breakfast the other day. What? So we've not made a lot from it yet, really. The matcha ice cream, or the date syrup, which is kind of just a little staple thing, isn't it? And the Moroccan type chickpea tagine.
Yeah.
Oh, it is to die for. Yeah, it's my new favourite main, I think. Yeah, so we're trying. Yeah, we need to get on that.
Try another one.
Yeah.
And have you guys got any recommendations of recipes that you've made from this book that you liked?
Yeah.
I want to try all of them eventually. Definitely.
Yeah. Where are we? Judy Kennett. Hi guys, why are you trying to lose weight? Yeah, so I'm thinking to do a bodybuilding show in the summer. I'm thinking I'm at about 8.5% body fat currently. It's looking like, so I'd probably need to drop another 2.5%, 3.5% to, you know, stand a chance of placing well. So I was thinking I'll get to that sort of level now. I'll do a lean mass gain for a few weeks, and then towards the show I'll go back onto a little cut. I just want to represent for them animals, really. Just put my money where my mouth is. It'll be my first ever bodybuilding show. If I do all right at age 44, doing my first show after 6 years of veganism, then I feel like no one can really argue. Yeah. Monica saying I should compete. You look amazing. You're lovely. Nathan Harmer Taylor, definitely compete. Nice. Thank you, sir. That feels good for people saying that. Peter Thompson, do you find well opinions on it? Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great, and yes, I do. I don't do it nearly often enough. I think it's going to become a more daily fixture, because on that last bulk, I was putting mass on so quickly that I was really kind of tightening up. I was quite sore, and I was starting to get some dysfunction and some pains. So yeah, foam rolling, and I've started doing my some yoga on the daily as well. But I think the foam roll first would be even better. Yeah, I really rate it, and I think it's a great thing. Yeah, poor man's massage. I think it's better because it's self-massage. You know how much force to apply, how much pressure, how long to do it for, where needs more than elsewhere, and it's like instant feedback, isn't it? I can't speak highly enough of it. Yasmin, do compete. You work so hard on a road to catch your health and lifestyle. You'll be an inspiration. Oh, take me sunny. Show them your vegans. Veganism, baby. Julie Chambers, find it difficult to lose weight. Any suggestions what to eat? Thank you, lovely channels. Thank you, Julie. So yeah, just the same as I prescribed for every problem that we have in the body, and it's whole foods, plant-based diet. Emphasize, so your plate should really be, I think, like a quarter legumes, a quarter whole grains, half your veggies. Emphasize the leafy greens, but get the different colours in by the end of the day. Piece of fruit, a small amount of nuts and seeds. So for an average female, like I'll prescribe a couple of tablespoons of chia seeds at breakfast, for instance. Lunch, maybe a couple of walnut halves. In the evening, maybe a Brazil nut. And really, that's it for overt fats. You'll get a little fats in, you know, in your other foods, some incidental fats. But really, you know, fats are just calorically so dense, especially oil. I just never recommend oil for anyone. It's horrible for health, and it's the most calorically dense thing you can put in your mouth. So whole plant foods, legume, whole grain, lots of veg, a little fruit, tiny bit of nuts and seeds, loads of herbs and spices. I start to sound like Rick Sanchez. And and like herbal teas and things. I get some nutritious. Don't drink your calories. So I avoid like fruit juices and things. Like they're a really daft idea because they just empty out of your stomach so quickly, and then you've had those calories. Some people seem to be under the misapprehension that when you drink calories, it's not the same as eating calories. But a calorie is a calorie pretty much, you know. So that's a big one that I find. And yeah, just really emphasise that, like, you can eat heaping great plates of food. You can eat as much low calorie veg as you want, pretty much. You probably wouldn't. So there was the broad study out of New Zealand at the end of 2016, and they got people eating unlimited whole plant foods, as I'm describing, and they lost on average 1 pound of fat per week. Lost unlimited food. That's all kinds of crazy. All moderators are quick on the draw today.
Someone wants to see your buns.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hon. Whoosh.
I know it.
You can do side bends or sit-ups, but please don't lose that butt. What about Friends when they're singing it? Rachel's singing it to that baby.
Do you really want everyone to know that?
Oh, I forgot you were here.
You know that?
Felicia's in the house, what's up? Oh, he jumped again.
Well, what do you know?
We're about halfway through the stream, like a load of trolls always come in, don't they? But they get quickly ejected. Yeah. Felicia's. So she liked the banana ice cream. Thank you. And she said, Gemma, beard or no beard?
Oh, so torn. I don't know. I really don't know. I like both ways. I don't know. I don't know if I have a preference.
It's like she's having an affair.
I sort of got used to you with a beard now. I thought before maybe I might have preferred you without a beard a bit more, maybe, but it was very close, if anything. But I don't know. I think I've got used to you having a beard now. So now, like, you look so different. Yeah. I don't know.
Hull, can you compete against people on steroids, Paul? So, in the interest of full disclosure, I don't like to lie about these things, so I used to take steroids, and I've got a bit more mass than technically the fat-free mass index says I should be able to have drug-free. So, I've already got a bit of a sort of head start. But, yeah, probably most of the people competing will be bang on it. But I've been told that I ought to do all right, especially because I'm a bit of an older age category. Like, apparently the competition's not that great, and really, like, win, lose or draw, I'm just doing it really just to show that it can be done. Obviously, if I do well, it would be better. But I'm just doing it for the experience, really, a lot of it. And
is there categories for size? Like
sometimes, yeah, I'm going to have. I keep meaning to research. It's this new PCA, Physical Culture Association or something they're called. But yeah, it's often weight categories.
So you wouldn't be.
But then if it's an age category as well, but it may be an age category with an added weight category.
Yeah, so I think you probably wouldn't compete against the people who are who take masses of steroids, like.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, but if it's a smaller show, like possibly that'll all be lumped into one.
Yeah.
But I'm not scared. Bring it on.
See what happens.
Yeah.
You'll do great.
Barrowman, keep doing your routine in the game, and if it feels like they compete, we support you. I would love to watch your vlogs about it. Oh, thank you, brother. That's the other thing. Like, if I'm a sort of bodybuilding / fitness channel, I probably should be doing. Yeah. We've got 60 people in the room. Welcome, everybody. Feel free to thumb up the stream at any time. And I do mean now.
Oh yeah, Linda McCartney's sausages have palm oil. Yeah.
They didn't used to, did they?
We ate them when we first ever went vegan, and I don't know if they did at that point. We weren't looking out for that then.
I don't know. I think I would have had an idea of it.
I don't think we used to know about palm oil when we first went vegan, did we? Well, not first, but when we started eating other things. I don't know, but yeah, don't buy them if they've got palm oil.
Jesse Best recommends the Beyond Boiga. It's getting banned and stuff. Vazgan, would you rather be rich for the rest of your lives or immortal? Don't look at each other for an answer. If you can decide and tell us if you would, my friends. Would you rather be rich for the rest of your lives or immortal? I'm already immortal. I feel like I'm probably a spirit having a human experience. And I don't think I want to be rich. I'd rather keep as I am. Does it sound crazy? Does it sound believable? I'm so happy with life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to be any different.
Oh, nice. I wouldn't like to be immortal. I wouldn't like to live forever. I don't think.
Yeah,
And
everyone you know in love would die.
When you you hear statistics of when people are like rich, if they suddenly get a load of money, like a year or however long it is later, they're just as happy as before they had it. For humans, it's meant to be steady, slow progression that makes us feel the best. So like if each year you earn 1,000 more than you did the last year, or like something like that, like you're gonna feel better. So yeah, to suddenly be rich, I don't think makes us the happiest.
I guess. Okay, so I would say I'd rather be rich, and then you could do some real nice altruistic stuff like helping people and animals and the environment. Yeah, rich. Cool. Money's not necessarily evil; it's what you do with it that can be like evil. Danny Robbles, should I add cardio if I'm trying to gain weight? I think we should be doing some cardio just for our heart and lung health and our longevity and the life in our years, not just the years in our life. However, if you're trying to put on some mass, you then obviously need to eat more calories in order to accommodate that. So the answer is, yeah, I always do some cardio, but maybe you don't do so much if you're in a mad mass gaining cycle, but do eat to accommodate what you're doing. Jackie's there. Princess Peaches, hey lovelies, can't say but send all love to you both, big hugs. Hi lovely, thanks for dropping by. She's a good person. Some gains. Look at those muscles. You are some great people.
You missed something, I think.
What was it?
Here, this comment.
Yeah.
Is it like a question or?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so, is it? Fatty blood, the red blood cells get saturated fat stuck in them. Not in them, I don't think. But it basically fills up becomes part of all the plasma and just it's in the stream basically, just greasing up the works. Coating everything, so insulin signaling I think can be affected by that. Lowering your kind of oxygen delivery, and usually when people are going to have angina, like that crushing like chest pain and whatever, that is basically within a couple of hours of having a fatty meal, then you've got the lipemia going on, like the lactescence of the the milkiness of the blood, and then that oxygen is just that bit lower, and then that's typically when the terrible pain happens. And I think that I think might be wrong. I won't say it. Go.
Are you streaming after 8 or not? Because I need to make a salad.
Yeah, no, we'll just go to 8.
Don't mind either way, but I'll wait. I'll hang on here.
Yeah, no, I've got stuff to do there. So.
Okay then. I was just interested.
Barrowman, I got seen too much now. Anyway, Jazz, I'm a skinny dude. I don't understand me. Vitality, stamina, and pure stubbornness would give you run for your money. See you, Barrowman. Give us your money. Jim and Paul, what are your philosophies in life? I reckon Paul is an anti-natalist, nihilist.
What are our philosophies? I don't know.
I think my philosophy, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, but it is that, like, I used to just feel like I was the centre of the universe and like everything was going on for my benefit, and now I appreciate that we're all having an individual experience, and just why cause harm to another being with the same, drives, seeking love, avoiding pain and fear, do as you will be done by and all that. I'm not a religious man, but I think I am quite spiritually minded, and just try to do good in the world, expand, like grow, learn, do good for others, just gives you the best feeling. It's amazing. When I used to be all into my ego, like just life wasn't half as rewarding.
I like what you said.
Word. What do you guys say? Am I talking a load of old spiritual mumbo jumbo? Hashtag claptrap. 62 the bunny, such a cute cat. Gimme, gimme. Oh, where's the cat?
That was like about 10 minutes ago.
Lift him up.
Oh no, he's asleep.
Get him.
No.
Chickpea Sonny smashed the like button. Thank you, brother. Stephanie's in the house. Hi, Paul and Gemma. Happy Friday, my lovely. Thanks for joining us. The gang's all there. Paul, I'm using a wee bit of sea salt to get iodine. What's the cheapest plant-based iodine plant you can get? Supplement. Nori is very expensive. So
It can be a little expensive, can't it, Nori?
has sea salt got much iodine in it? I don't know. Unless, I mean, iodized salt obviously has got iodine added. Has sea salt got very much in it at all? I don't know. I don't think it has. Unless you guys know better than me. I'll have to look that
If
up.
you're just looking for cheapness, you can get a little Lugol's iodine solution that might last you like a year.
That would be the cheapest one, like a Lugol's
like a tenner
solution. Or if not, like any like seaweed really, like some seaweed flakes, little sprinkles. Any of them will have a decent amount of iodine in them. Yeah, yeah, we probably shouldn't really add salt. Ricky Montoya, what are your thoughts on the 25 male getting on TRT? Looked into plenty of other things, hypogonadism, depression, good idea or bad? If your testosterone's low, very good. Will do more good than harm. Juice is in the house. What's up? Happy New Year. Ricky Montoya asking for a friend, by the way. What is that? Swim. Someone who isn't me. Everyone says in drugs forums. So I'm told. Canvina, hello. So I did the 80-10 diet because of your candida story and it's going great. I've quit all oils, but can I take turpentine?
Turpentine. You remember when we did Cambo years ago?
Yeah.
Shep, he was recommending turpentine to me. I don't really know anything about it other than some shaman did recommend it to me one
Turpentine?
time.
My dad used to clean his bloody paintbrushes with that. That doesn't seem like something you should put in your body.
Yeah, at the time I thought like, are you mad? Like that sounds really harsh for your body. He was raving about it, but I've tried a lot of things over the years and in the pursuit of health, and some of the things made me feel blimmin' awful, so awful, like harsh things like nystatin I was taking, not nystatin, what was it? Is that what I took for candida? Oh anyway, lots of different drugs, natural, non-natural, like all different things, and I've sort of come to the conclusion now that if anything is a bit sort of iffy, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I only kind of want to do the things that are quite natural and I don't know, where there's some science on it as well, and it's not, I don't know, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
Some things...
Sorry, go on, if you're
no, you
wrapping up. What I will say is candida shouldn't live for more than a couple of days. So if the problem persists for more than a couple of days after you've changing the protocol, something's wrong, isn't it? Basically.
Yeah, then it's a diet thing.
The candida yeast is only lives for like 2 days. So if it's still blooming, it means it's still being, you've not treated the root cause.
And we do need to have candida in our body. You'll never get rid of 100% of it. It is meant to be there. It does perform a vital function. So, didn't Dr. Gregor bring out a couple of videos about candida recently? Nutritionfacts.org, I think.
Yeah.
So, you are meant to have it there.
Most humans. It's one of those things where we all have different bacteria.
Okay.
So some places in the world don't even have it, I don't think.
Right, okay. Oh, that's right. I didn't know that.
But it basically mops up excess glycogen in the presence of high blood sugar, is the point.
Yeah. And Dr. Gregor sort of saying he doesn't really think having a candida problem is a thing that exists. That's kind of what he said, isn't it? Like he didn't. Yeah. He didn't think that was like a thing. I don't know. I was told I had a really bad case of it years ago, and I wasn't vegan then, And yeah, I kept having tests, and it would go up and down. And even though I was doing the diet perfectly, you know, their diet, which was meant to be the right one, but perfectly, and yeah, it just never got like really normal, did it?
No.
And now I just look back and think, like, did I even have a problem? And I don't know. I'm suspicious of it now.
It just seems to me that the high carb, low fat, whole foods vegan diet treats everything. So
Yeah.
whatever was wrong, it's probably put it right anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I heard lower testosterone causes symptoms of depression. Yeah, that's where you get grumpy old man syndrome. You can take BH4, B3 in the meantime, Ricky. What the hell's that? And why haven't I heard of it? Yasmin, I'm thinking of trying butter beans for the first time. What do they taste like and what foods complement them, please? They are the best tasting legume in the world, according to me.
Yeah.
From my perspective. And I had them today and they were delicious. I love it. I love the texture, I love the flavour. Slight sort of a creamy flavour, really. I like them in sort of an Italian style ragu, like a tomato based sauce with some herbs and garlic and stuff. Yeah.
I'm not really a fan. Don't mind them, but don't love them.
She's an idiot.
I mostly just like chickpeas and lentils.
Elite Jace, what macros do you recommend as a vegan lean bulk? I kind of look from the health perspective more than anything, and I think you can get most macros will do most jobs, really. It's more kind of calorie. Obviously you do need a minimum of protein and things like that, but most of the sort of macro splits that people do, like with a reasonable balance, can work. But what I say is you can also get your results in terms of muscle gains, fat burning, like lean mass gains, and have optimal health and prevent, treat and reverse 14 of the 15 leading killers in the West, the other one being accidents. And so I like to aim for no more than 15% of calories from fats, except in the case of a very low calorie diet, then I'll look for around 30 grams of fats just to supply the minimal needs for hormone production and things. And then protein, 15 to 20% for someone really into like muscle building, and the remainder is carbohydrate. And you know, before people would eat like a high protein diet thinking, oh, like that doesn't make you fat, carbs make you fat, but protein is just as insulinogenic as carbohydrate. We turn excess protein into carbohydrate by way of gluconeogenesis, which means that, and that's very taxing on our organs, causes like liver damage, I think, kidney hyperfiltration of the kidneys from having like high protein. One of the most fastest growing diseases of the West is kidney disease, basically. It's becoming really rife. And but the same outcome in terms of physique goals. That's what I found. I'm the best shape I've ever been, really. I'm 43 now. I used to eat 500 grams of animal protein a day. I now eat like 180 grams of plant protein, and I'm doing the best ever, you know, much higher. I used to start a diet on 300 grams of carbs and finish on virtually none, and I now start, when I'm on a bulk, I might be on 1,000 grams of carbohydrate, and I might finish on 300 grams of carbohydrate. So, and I've got so much more energy. I'm happy.
He used to be so grumpy on a diet. Oh my god.
I was thinking, like the other day, I did a 40-minute walk to the gym and a 40-minute walk back from the gym. Yeah. On this diet, now I used to do a 40-minute walk for my cardio when I was cutting on chicken, and I had no energy. I was really miserable and grumpy and like snappy.
You just want to get it out of the way, and you'd have to have some caffeine first just to inspire yourself to do it.
I feel amazing. So you can have your optimal physique, you can have optimal mental health, like just happiness and just energy coming out of the wazoo, and the fat just melts off. Plant-based gains, baby. So in answer, I advocate high carbohydrate, which I believe, and I'm convinced, I've bet my life on it, it's our species-specific fuel source. You know, we evolved in the tropics among a plethora of tropical fruits. You can always dig up tubers year-round. You know, nuts. There's no jugs of oil in nature. Nuts come in a huge, fleshy casing with a hard shell. They're a lot of work for little reward, whereas you can just pick the fruit, you can just cook a big tuber. Animals tend to run off because they don't want to be eaten, so you know, tribes people, 9 times out of 10 the men come back with nothing from the hunt because animals don't want to be hurt and they run off. Yeah, high carbs for the win. CTFU. Ingress Egger is saying that might be short for hench herbivore. Nathan, is it true that plant protein is not as bioavailable and easy for the body to use? Animal protein, hair reason is not an explanation for why estrogen in soy is not bad. I hear this reasoning a lot as an explanation for why this estrogen in soy is not bad. So the phytoestrogens in soy had nothing to do with the protein. That's like your genistein and forgotten the other compound, isoflavonoids. Anyway, there's these compounds that mimic estrogen, but they're not the protein. It is true that technically, on paper, plant proteins don't seem to be as bioavailable, but in the real world, it seems to have no carryover to actual results. So don't worry about it. And in actual fact, some studies, for instance, one study out of Hong Kong showed that vegans on average had higher blood serum albumin, which is the protein with which to make muscle from, versus meat eaters, because meat eaters take in a lot of endotoxins in the meat, and that causes a pro-inflammatory response. And so now some of the dietary protein has to be turned into C-reactive protein in the liver, which is there to quell the inflammation. But now that protein's been used up doing that job rather than building muscle. So that was one recent study of Hong Kong. Just anecdotally, like my friend Carl Bruder, met him on the Game Changers movie set 2 years back. He saw my friend, my training partner at the time, who was the reigning Mr. Universe. He'd gone vegan, and Carl said, well, if Barney can be vegan and be that size, I'm going to give it a go. And in the last 2 years, he did a post on Facebook recently. He said he's grown 6 kilos of muscle, which is a much faster rate than he'd been growing it in the previous 5 years as a meat eater. So that's very interesting. He'll be in that new movie, The Game Changers. He'll see his whole story, I would imagine, all charted out in there. What else about pricing? And then, so we need to be slightly alkaline. Animal products make acids in the body. We used to think we ripped calcium out of our bones to buffer the acid in our blood. We now know that's not true, but what we do is we rip glutamine out of our muscles, which is the most abundant amino acid. It also happens to be alkalizing. So we pull glutamine from our muscles into the bloodstream, buffer the acid from the animal products. So into middle age, the gains really slow down for people. Into old age, you see people shriveling up, sarcopenia, muscle wastage, and they're saying with a whole foods vegan that shouldn't be anything like the sort of issue. It's just the fact that we're taking in foods that produce so much acid in our body, you know, meat, dairy, fish, and obviously processed plant foods as well. But really the worst thing is the old animal products, except for Coke, which is pH 3 Coca-Cola.
Oh, yuck.
Every point left or right on the litmus test, 7 in the middle is like neutral, and every point to the left, so 5, 4, 3, is 10 to the power of 10 more acidic.
Oh.
So if you had a bottle of Coca-Cola, you'd need 30,000 bottles of an alkaline water to offset the acid load in your body, you see what I'm saying?
I don't know how some people are alive.
I don't.
I don't get it.
Anyway, good question, Nathan, and welcome to the stream. Oh, Ricky Fart's been timed out. He sounds like my sort of person.
Based on what you were saying, I don't think he is.
Ah.
Well, I only saw one thing he said, but it was brilliant.
Clipper incident. With Monica, would you recommend taking probiotics to stop bloating? So if someone's suddenly eaten a lot more soluble fibre and resistant starch, which comes with insoluble fibre, if they don't have adequate of the Prevotella bacteria type living in the gut microbiome, then bloated may become an issue for that reason. So the take home is we just need to give it time, and the good bacteria are already in the gut. When we feed these fibres and things, they then thrive, they multiply, they really blossom like crazy, and hopefully they can be the predominant species. And then the good thing is their byproduct, short chain fatty acids, makes wonderful health benefits in our body, but it also, apart from anything else, is an acid environment, which we don't want acid in the blood, but we do want acid in the colon, because the bad bacteria, the Bacteroides, don't like acid. They can't really survive very well in there. So that's pretty cool. And so unless someone's just had a terrible disturbance in their gut, like a terrible pathogenic bacteria, like, you know, Clostridium difficile, C. difficile, basically, that really horrible diarrhea bug you can pick up in hospitals and places. Probably not needed, and they're not that effective. But if someone's had a terrible time of it, you know, with dysbiosis, or they've had antibiotics, may be a benefit. However, a healthy gut microbiome will have maybe 16,000 bacteria. As far as we know, we've not found them all yet. And a good probiotic might have 8 bacteria. Our microbiome in the gut contains 100 trillion bacteria. A little tablet has like 3 million or something.
Get on some.
Which sounds like a lot, but on the scale of things, it's like a thimble being dropped into the ocean, and you're thinking, oh, you know, I can change the chemistry of this whole ocean with this little. Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Get on some fermented foods instead. Get yourself.
That would be better.
The art of fermentation.
I mean, I'm not entirely against probiotics. In those circumstances, they will be a benefit. But maybe a good strategy, sauerkraut,
yeah,
any fermented foods, kefir and kombucha, not so much, like they don't have so much going on for them relative to, like, a good sauerkraut might have 680 different beneficial bacteria on there.
So can I make a sandwich?
Can we wrap up? Let's try and wrap up quickly.
Okay.
But yeah, the bloating could be something else. So, you know, there could be just an allergic reaction. Could be leaky gut, and then you're getting a problem from particles of food getting into the bloodstream that shouldn't have been there, and then you're getting an inflammation in the endoepithelium. Sorry. Yeah, you need to find out why the bloating. But oftentimes when I hear this, it's because people have gone to a high whole foods plant-based diet from a background of not eating so much that way, and they're just microbiome needs to catch up, basically. Elite Jace, 20% protein, 30% fats, 50% carbs for a lean bulk. No, because that would lead to ill health. That would definitely lead to ill health. That's kind of moderate carbs, moderate fat. That never leads anywhere good. That is really setting you up for diabetes and things. Jessamine, nothing wrong with watching Friends. I quote it almost daily. We're miles behind, aren't we?
Yeah, and we've got still a lot of people, so I feel like there'd be a lot of comments still coming in. So that's why I said about going to make a sandwich.
Yeah.
You stay on if you want to.
Yeah, no. I just saw Bob Burger, that he was a bad person. sorry guys, we really need to wrap it up there. But it's been a lovely, lovely time. It's so good to hang out with
Life's
you guys
so busy
again.
these days, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah, we've got so much going on, but
yeah, it's nice to see.
but I really do value this Friday night. It's wonderful. I really appreciate your support as well, especially when I'm thinking about competing, and that's a big step for me. I've never sought to sort of put myself out there like that before, and yeah, so I really appreciate the support. If you, I know most of you guys